Today, we're going to talk about polygons. Frequently throughout this lesson, I will ask you to press pause and carefully analyze and look at some different shapes on the screen. Make some categories and grouping the different shapes based off of their similarities, and then you're going to click unpause and see if your groupings match my own. Let's begin. Look at these images on the screen. How might you group these into two categories? Click pause, think about it, and if you could move these or if you could group these, how might you group them? When you have your way of grouping, click unpause. Okay, so you might have noticed that there are some shapes that are all connected, like the one that I'm tracing here, as well as this one here. And then there are other shapes or images that have an opening. This one is not connected. These two endpoints do not touch, as well as here. This does not have a line to connect them, and this one does not have a line to connect them. So if you group these into two categories, you might have grouped them into one group with closed figures. There's no opening. The shape is entirely closed. Or open figures, where there's an opening, a section that is not connected. We are going to focus on closed figures. So now I'm going to give you another opportunity to categorize these shapes. I want you to categorize these closed figures into two categories, only two. If you can move them on the screen, how might you group them? Look very closely, hit pause, and then when you have an idea of how you might group these shapes or these closed figures into two categories, hit unpause. Okay, so you might notice that there are some shapes that have a curved side, like the one that I'm tracing here, or like this one here that has a curved side even though they have a straight side right here. Or this one, it looks like it starts straight and then all of a sudden it has a big curve right here. Whereas other shapes have only straight sides. So these groups of closed figures could be grouped into two categories. One, where all of the closed figures have straight sides, and the other one where there's more than one side that might be curved, or they might have straight and a combination of a curved side. So we are going to focus on just the closed figures that have straight sides. So shapes that are closed and have straight sides have a very special name. That name is polygons. Polygons are shapes or figures that are closed and have straight sides. So now we're going to focus only on polygons. Looking at these polygons, now if you had to group these polygons based off of what they have that are the similar or the same, how might you group them? And you could have more than one category. So click pause, look at these shapes or polygons very closely. How might you group them? Okay, so if you took a moment to really analyze these shapes carefully, you might notice, for example, this shape here has three sides. If I look around, I might find another shape over here that also has three sides, but not only three sides, three corners, angles, or vertices. So there's 1, 2, 3 here. I have another one down here, 3 sides and 3 angles, vertices, or corners, depending on the word that you might use. So we could group these polygons into categories based off of the number of sides and the number of angles. So I group them that way. You might notice I have 4 groups. This group of shapes right here have 3 corners, 3 angles, or 3 vertices, and 3 sides. You might know the name of that polygon. That polygon is called a triangle. Triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles. Looking at this group of shapes, These groups of shapes all have 4 sides and 4 angles each, if you look at all of them. And shapes that have 4 angles and 4 sides are called quadrilaterals. I remember quadrilaterals because when I think of quads, vehicles that have 4 wheels that people ride on, they are called quads and they have 4 wheels. So a great way to remember that quadrilaterals have 4 sides, 4 angles is that you see the word quad in there, and that means 4. These two shapes up here are grouped because they both have 5 sides and 5 angles. They are called pentagons. Home plate, if you play baseball or softball, home plate is in the shape of a pentagon. A very important building in our nation's capital is called the Pentagon, where the military headquarters are located. And the reason it's called the Pentagon, is because that building has 5 sides and 5 angles. Now these shapes here all have a similarity. They have 6 sides, 6 angles. They are called hexagons. And if you guys think back to when we were in school, the classrooms at Heathcote in the 3rd grade wing, the 4th grade wing, and the 5th grade wing, as well as the kindergarten wing, all have 6 sides, 6 angles. Our classroom is the shape of a hexagon. This is the shape of our classroom. I don't know if you guys remembered that, but that's a neat fact to remember how many sides a hexagon has. Our classrooms at Heathcote, most of them have 6 sides, 6 angles. Heptagon has 7 sides, 7 angles. So I'm going to use my drawing tool and I'm going to mark the angle at which I start. I'm going to count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 sides, and let's count the angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 sides, 7 angles in a heptagon. In an octagon, there are 8 sides, 8 angles, and this shape is colored red, and I'm hoping that it reminds you of an important sign, traffic sign that you see when you're driving with your parents through Scarsdale. Our stop signs are octagons. They are 8-sided shapes. So let's count the number of sides we have starting at this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles. So I hope you find a pattern here. The number of sides you have in a shape is going to mean have the same number of angles. That's pretty neat. A 9-sided, 9-angled shape is called a nonagon. 9 starts with N, nonagon starts with N. So let's start here and count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 angles. And lastly, the one that we're going to be focused on for this week or for today is called a decagon. A decagon has 10 sides, 10 angles. And the way that you can remember decagon is a decade is a span of 10 years. So deca means 10. So again, counting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 angles. Now I just wanted to show you that this star is also a decagon. If I started here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sides, and the angles are this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now it has to be the number of angles inside the shape. Many kids get confused and think we're talking about this angle. No, it has to be inside the shape. So I just included this so that you can see that this star is also called a decagon because it has 10 sides and it also has 10 angles. Now, what have we learned today? We have learned that polygons are closed figures with straight sides. We've also learned that polygons are named according to the number of angles and sides. There are a ton of other polygons that I haven't showed you that go beyond a 10-sided polygon, but we are just going to focus for today on these polygons. The names of the polygons that we learned are based off of the number of angles and their sides. So for example, 3 sides, 3 angles is a triangle. A polygon that has 4 sides, 4 angles is a quadrilateral. A polygon that has 5 sides, 5 angles is a pentagon. A polygon that has 6 sides, 6 angles is a hexagon. And a polygon that has 7 sides, 7 angles is a heptagon. And a polygon that has 8 sides, 8 angles is an octagon. A polygon that has 9 sides, 9 angles is a nonagon. And for today, lastly, a polygon that has 10 sides, 10 angles is a decagon. Your work today is going to be a seesaw activity that your teacher is going to assign to you. You are going to be creating 4 different polygons. You can use any materials like toothpicks, straws, clay, Play-Doh, markers, or pens, and you are going to either draw or create a polygon. One of the 10 polygons, you're going to be making 4 of them, and you're going to be naming them and labeling them. So here's my example. I have a hexagon here, and I labeled it a hexagon because it has 6 sides, 6 angles, and when you actually open up this template, you can listen to my recording of how I describe it. Now, of course, I have 3 others here that I haven't labeled, but you boys and girls are going to create and build 4 different polygons. You're going to use any type of materials that you want around the house. Here are just some suggestions. You're going to take a picture of your shape, and you're going to then record yourself explaining the different attributes of that polygon. We hope you have a lot of fun and that you've learned the different types of polygons that we are going to be focusing on for today. Good luck and have fun.